Learning to play the guitar, it's about so much more than just where to put your fingers. It's a whole new way of seeing, of listening, and of connecting with music on a much, much deeper level. In this explainer, we're going to explore the core principles that can transform the grind of practice into a genuine source of passion.
And really, that idea is at the heart of everything we're talking about. This isn't some strict rule book that you have to follow to the letter. Think of it more as a guide for the journey ahead, a way to help you find joy in the process and turn those moments of frustration into a path of deep, personal satisfaction. So we've laid out this path in 4 parts. We'll start by shifting our perspective on what it even means to practice. Then we'll build a really solid foundation with 4 essential pillars. From there, we'll move on to developing a truly musical mind, and finally, we'll explore the incredible spirit of sharing music. All right, let's dive in.
Okay, so first things first, we've got to shift our mindset. The goal here is to make every moment you spend with your guitar a meaningful addition to your life, something you actually look forward to, not just another chore to tick off a list.
And this is such a crucial point. If we only focus on the mechanics, the scales, the chord shapes, the theory, we're missing out on, well, half the magic. Music is an experience. It's a journey of discovery. And that's the perspective we need to carry with us every single time we pick up the instrument.
So, with the right mindset in place, it's time to build our foundation. Just like any great building, a great guitarist needs a solid base. And that base isn't built on raw talent alone. It's forged from those small, consistent habits that you build up day in and day out. So here they are, our 4 foundational pillars. We've got constancy, to build the habit; tuning, to train the ear; posture, to bring your body and the instrument together; and exercises, to build our technical freedom. Together, these form the indispensable platform for everything else that follows.
All right, our first principle is all about constancy. And this is just so vital because your brain, your muscles, they learn best through that daily repetition, not from these massive, once-in-a-while marathon sessions. It's this quiet, daily commitment that builds both reliable muscle memory and that elusive thing we call musical intuition.
And this just shows you exactly what I mean. 30 minutes of focused, enjoyable practice every single day is infinitely more powerful than a single, exhausting 4-hour session once a week. One way builds lasting, ingrained skill. The other, well, it just leads to frustration and burnout.
Okay, number 2 is a deceptively simple but really profound habit. Always tune your instrument. This isn't just about sounding good. Every single time you tune, you're doing a small but crucial ear training exercise. You're basically teaching your brain to recognize pitch, to internalize the very building blocks of music.
Number 3, let's talk about posture. What we're really aiming for here is a kind of harmony between your body and the guitar. This means a straight back, relaxed shoulders, and no unnecessary tension in your hands or arms. The goal is to let the music flow through you naturally and without any pain, which, by the way, also prevents long-term injury.
I love this analogy. It just says it all, doesn't it? I mean, you could probably still do it, but why on earth would you want to? The struggle and the suffering are absolutely guaranteed. A relaxed body, a correct posture, this lets the music be expressed effortlessly, instead of having to fight its way out.
And that brings us to our 4th pillar, technical exercises.
Yeah, this is basically the guitarist gym. Your scales, your arpeggios, your chord changes. It might not always be the most glamorous part of playing, but this invisible training is what forges the agility, the control, and the precision in your playing.
And this is the ultimate payoff. Trust me, every single minute you put into those seemingly repetitive exercises pays you back tenfold in the form of freedom. The freedom to play the music you love, to express the ideas in your head without your fingers getting in the way and holding you back.
All right, so with that solid physical foundation locked in, we can start to train our minds. Once the hands know what to do, we can focus on the deeper skills. So in this next part, we're going to dig into developing your ear, your internal clock, and your unique voice, the real keys to thinking like a musician.
Okay, principle number 5, build your repertoire. Every single song you learn is like a lesson in disguise. The classics teach us about structure, melody, harmony. Newer, more challenging pieces push our boundaries and open our minds up to fresh ideas. Each one adds a brand new tool to your musical toolbox.
Right, on to our 6th principle, and this is a big one. So many players see the metronome as this enemy, this rigid, soulless machine, but I promise you, this is a profound misunderstanding. The metronome is not your prison. It is, without a doubt, your most powerful ally in the quest to master time.
Think about it. You can play the most breathtaking solo, with every note perfectly clean, but if the rhythm isn't there, the music just falls apart. It just has no feeling, no groove, right? The metronome is the training partner that helps you develop an unshakable internal pulse, until that sense of time becomes a totally natural part of you.
And principle number 7 is simply this: listen. Now, I don't just mean, having some music on in the background while you're doing other things. I mean active listening. Choosing a piece of music you admire and giving it your full, undivided attention. It's really an art form in itself.
The idea here is to listen to the greats, but not just to copy them. The point is to understand what makes them so special. Absorb their ideas, analyze their techniques, try to feel their musical attitude. The goal is to synthesize all of that amazing inspiration and then, piece by piece, find your own unique voice. It's a journey of inspiration, not imitation.
So now we're moving into the final stage of this journey. Here, the focus shifts from solitary practice and all that internal development to interaction. First, an honest interaction with ourselves, and then the ultimate goal, that amazing musical conversation you can have with other people.
Okay, principle number 8. Record yourself. Now I know, it can feel a bit weird at first, but it is such a powerful tool. When you listen back, you hear yourself not as the player, but as the audience. You become your own most honest critic, able to spot not only the flaws you need to polish, but also the real progress you've been making.
And that leads us perfectly into our 9th principle. See, at its heart, music really is a social language. Practicing alone is essential, of course, but the real magic, the true joy, that so often happens when it's shared. Playing with other musicians is a genuine dialogue, a conversation without words, built on listening, reacting, and creating something together that you never could have created on your own.
All right, our 10th principle. This one goes way beyond just technique and into the very spirit of being a musician: perseverance. There are going to be bad days. There will be frustrating plateaus where it feels like you aren't making any progress at all. In those moments, just remember that your passion and your patience are so much more valuable than any amount of raw talent. You've just got to keep going.
And that brings us to the 11th and final principle. It's the simplest, but honestly, it might just be the most important one of all. Enjoy it. Celebrate your progress. Playing the guitar should never, ever feel like an obligation. It's a gift, it's a pleasure, a form of self-expression. Every new chord that rings out clearly, every small victory, it should be savored.
And really, this is the idea that ties absolutely everything together. Technique is a tool, knowledge is a guide, but what truly moves an audience, what truly defines a musician, is the love they feel for what they do. That passion, that's the one thing that is always, always transmitted through the music.
So, to wrap things up, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Beyond all the technique, beyond all the songs you learn, what is the true gift that music gives you? And I have a feeling the answer is going to be as personal and as unique as the way each and every one of us plays.